Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another Injustice 2 video. And in this video we're talking about which energy system do you guys prefer. Now, as you guys know that in Injustice 2, it's taken on a Marvel Contest of Champions / D. In Injustice 1, as you can see right here, it's 3 energy cost per fight, and every character in Injustice Gods Among Us 1 has a separate bar of energy, meaning that if you have a roster with 121 characters, each roster is going to have its own energy bar. Now, the advantage of this format is the simple fact that every character can go until energy depletes. In a 7-battle matchup, you either have to watch a free video or you have to spend energy to mass play multiplayer. The obvious problem that Netherrealm has in this format is that nobody is going to actually pay money to buy energy. I'm not sure where you actually go. I think you have to go into the recharge, so you can add energy for... Wow, that's a lot of... Oh, that's probably Philippines money, that's why. That's probably why the currency is a little bit different. Obviously, you can still play the game, even if you're logged into a Philippines account. It's basically tied into your WBID. That doesn't affect anything, as the WBID is what ties in Injustice Gods Among Us. So, this format here, I think, is way better because you can play the game for 20 hours at a time. So, I'm thinking that the message that Netherrealm wants to give you is that you're going to play Injustice 2 for about 30 minutes to an hour. Then, their way of not discontinuing Injustice 1 is the simple fact that if you're a hardcore Injustice Mobile fan, you're going to have plenty of time to play Injustice Mobile, or you can spend time on DC Legends, and it's not something that you can spend 10 to 15 hours on. But the format for Injustice Gods Among Us, I think, is still going to carry over and be a really popular format, because what they've been doing in Injustice Gods Among Us Mobile is, instead of keeping the cost of cards, as you see, 148,000, 192, 231,000 credits, which is a bargain for Killer Frost, let me tell you. Instead of doing that, they've been lately adding the cost of cards to over 400,000 credits. Now, as you guys know, farming 400,000 credits normally would take about 2 to 3 hours of farming. So if you're trying to get that brand new card every 3 weeks, you're going to have to spend about 8 hours farming outside of the whole battle mode. And for Injustice Gods Among Us Mobile, there are people that do that, and there's still people that do that to this day. So I think that it does reward the free-to-play players. Like, this is the type of format that's going to work well. The problem with Mortal Kombat X is that there's a lot less balance in the game. While it does have a soul currency, and to recharge everybody's personal energy, it only costs 1 soul. So to recharge 1 soul is really reasonable, considering that you get like 19 free souls a day. from doing daily objectives. You also get like 100 souls for doing faction wars, and every time you complete both challenges, you get about 300 souls. So recharging, guys, unless you actually need specific characters, is not a big deal whatsoever. So leave your comments down below. Let me know which energy system you like better. Obviously, I feel that the Injustice Gods Among Us 1 energy system is going to be a lot better. While I have tested the Injustice Gods Among Us 2 gameplay, and I really like how there's a universal power bar, meaning that instead of having each character with a specific power bar and just constantly super move spamming your opponent, or having Ares and Batgirl start at 2 bars and Arkham Knight Batman start at 3 bars, and basically overwhelming your opponent. I really do like the power system in Injustice 2 because everybody shares 1 bar of power, and the bar has to take time to charge up. Well, I'm not certain if power generation is still going to come in play where you can recharge the bar quickly. I imagine that there's going to be some way of doing that, and it's going to be a staple, meaning you have to include this card, just like you almost have to include Zatanna in DC Legends, and it seems like you have to include Killer Frost in Injustice Gods Among Us. Obviously, I've only played Injustice 2 for about an hour, hour and a half, but I'm finding out that the combat in Injustice 2 is not bad. You can combo multiple people out, which I really like, but I think that they're trying to focus more on the pay-to-win aspects, and I think that's going to do more harm than good. Like, if the fights costed like 1 energy for normal and 2 for heroic, you could play that game to your heart's content, and it wouldn't be that bad, because upgrading like the abilities and talents on characters is not cheap. The gear system is really good because you shatter extra gear to upgrade existing gear. So I think they nailed the gear system right. The talents I really haven't seen. You can upgrade these specials, and of course they get minor improvements, which I really like. But I think the biggest problem with Injustice 2 Mobile is the energy system. Granted, it is a soft launch, but I really hope that they do go back to the old format of Injustice Gods Among Us 1, and instead of having energy, just have it like Injustice Gods Among Us, where you have to use multiple cards, and it kind of forces you to use multiple cards. I really like the energy system in Injustice 1. Please, Netherrealm, listen to your fans. Don't make it like DC Legends, where you can play the game for about a half hour, and unless you're paying 50 gems, which is absolutely absurd, and nobody's going to pay it, you can't play the game. But I do like that you can level up the cards naturally through fights. There's also a sim thing where you can spend energy and sim the fights if you are just grinding for specific things and don't want to take the time to play the battles. But let's face it, Injustice Gods Among Us 2 combat is perfectly fine. The biggest flaw is the energy. So if you agree with these statements that the Injustice 2 energy system needs a major overhaul, please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favor, check out my other Injustice Gods Among Us videos playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono. And I really hope that once the arena is out, they do not take the DC Legends approach and restrict that as well. I really think Netherrealm needs to consider going back to the Injustice Gods Among Us format, because when it comes to Injustice 2, while the 60 energy is actually better for new players, once you have like your whole roster, which is about 20-25 characters, that 60 energy is going to be a piece of shit. And I really think that energy resource should be used when your characters don't have any energy to spare. Like, that extra energy should be usable and recharged at a slower rate. So like each fight in Injustice 2, your guy should use 1 energy on normal, 2 energy on heroic, and in arena PvP. I think that would be the approach to do it. And if your characters are out of energy, then you can use the energy resource to recharge them and just make it a little bit more reasonable. I just don't understand why Netherrealm makes such stupid mistakes, and they're basically shooting themselves in the foot. Fix the energy, and you're going to have much better customers. Thank you, and take my advice to heart. Have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!